Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching Final Spark in the Friedrich der Große. He is on the map Northern Lights in a 4-point domination game mode. It's a tier 9 battles, but with hardly any tier 9s around. There are only 2 destroyers, there is 1 carrier, so looking rather decent. Now, as usual, this replay is on warreplays.com and there will be a link in the video description. So, here in the beginning, the team is talking with each other, which is good. The destroyer here announced he is going towards Charlie, and then he wants to go towards Delta. We shall see about that. Now the point here on the right is, well, it's a bit isolated. There are huge mountains here, and this small gap is nothing that you want to take a big ship through. So as a destroyer you can sneak through this gap and capture the point Delta and then maybe come back. But you don't want to send big ships over there, in my opinion. They are just, like, it takes a long time to go there and they can't really support anyone else, and then it takes them a long time to get back. Now Final Spark here is supporting the push here at Charlie, and he has found some targets to shoot at. The destroyer tried to get into the cap circle, but we can see already there are planes incoming. And yeah, those planes can keep him spotted. There are way too many ships to shoot him, and obviously those dive bombers can hurt as well, so the destroyer is forced to retreat. Now it looks like there aren't a lot of people here going towards Alpha, and nobody is really going towards Beta from the friendly team. So the friendly team is still rather passive here. We shall see how that turns out. There is a nice anti-air battle here going on. The Miyoko has lent its anti-air support. The planes are finally in retreat. See here, friendly fighter plane is here as well. And the destroyer can go back into the cap circle, so nice shot. It looks like the friendly team is gaining the upper hand here. And unfortunately this Benson is still spotted. Let's hope he has smoke ready, or he will get unspotted pretty soon. There is a North Carolina showing broadside, and that North Carolina seems like is going here towards Point Delta, and so I don't think that's a wise choice. And there were some nice hits here. But you know, it will take him just a long time where he isn't really participating in the battle. And yes, the Benson has smoked up. He is now capturing here in peace, and once he is finished he could sneak through this channel, grab Delta, and then just return. Now Final Spark here is biding his time. He did a good job supporting Charlie, and it looks like they're getting this point. They don't really have any other point under assault currently. The majority of the team is just sticking here in the back. But it does look like there is an enemy push coming here. And Final Spark can just go there and hopefully stop this push. If he charges in, there is a chance that his team will follow. Miyoko is probably here setting up for a torpedo launch towards those battleships. Benson has launched some torpedoes. Let's hope we'll get a few hits. And the Benson is now retreating and going to grab his uncontested point here. And look at that, an enemy Friedrich der Große who is showing broadside and is getting punished heavily for it. There are also torpedoes coming for him. On the not so bright side, there are enemy torpedo bombers incoming, and those are 2 tier 9 battleships and a cruiser who could launch torpedoes this way. And yeah, the Miyoko is presenting a very nice target here. Unfortunately those shells did nothing, which is kind of sad. And Final Spark is going for it. There is quite a bit of support here behind him. Let's hope the support will push in after him. And here is the torpedo launch from the Miyoko. I think he can dodge them, but he will now very soon show his broadside towards the Iowa. On the other hand, the Iowa is showing him his broadside, so it's basically who can fire first. And some nice shots. He's burning at 3 places. He uses his damage control to get rid of them. And that's an Iowa dealt with now. The Friedrich der Große here is retreating, but there is a destroyer who joins the fray, which could be quite problematic. Now he has to angle against the battleship and he has to dodge potential incoming torpedoes. The secondaries are going for the destroyer. And the friendly team, I think, is following him, but they are still quite a bit behind. This destroyer is safe from ships. But the secondaries are doing a great job, and the primaries can hopefully finish him off. Yep, there you go. Now he is forced to turn here to avoid those torpedoes, meaning he's showing his broadside towards the enemy Friedrich der Große, and he's on very low health, but... well, that worked out. He can also dodge the torpedoes. He took quite a beating, but he is still alive. Well, that was a really nice brawl. And the friendly team finally arrived, which is also nice. Now, unfortunately, the friendly team only controls 1 point. And look at that, there is the North Carolina. Remember, the North Carolina was sailing around here, the outskirts, towards this point, and I think he already got citadeled twice from Final Spark. And now there is one more. But this North Carolina, I mean, it takes him a long time to, like, rejoin the battle, and still, once he gets around those mountains, he doesn't have any support. So the enemy battleship here is in a pretty bad spot. Let's hope this salvo can finish him off. And unfortunately not, but Final Spark earned his high caliber. Now while this North Carolina is in a pretty bad spot, his guns are still rather powerful and can hurt, so you gotta be careful not to show him your broadside. Now it looks like some ships from the friendly team are here going towards the north, and they will probably push here towards Point Bravo. And some of the friendly team are unfortunately here in the south, so the team is a bit split. Now you could argue they make a pincer move towards B, but yeah, this mountain really prevents them from supporting each other. Also, those 2 battleships here are a bit too far in the south, in my opinion. The friendly carrier is getting airstrike. And Final Spark managed to deal with the North Carolina, so nobody is behind them anymore. That's nice. On the not so bright side, there is quite a force pushing this way. Now there are 2 battleships here to support Final Spark, but this one battleship here is behind an island, and this other battleship is, I think, a bit too far in the south. Maybe he tried to intercept those planes for the carrier, but yeah. Now Final Spark has stopped here. He is trying to recover some health, and he is will probably be reversing. There is a Gneisenau and Artago. There's a Colorado here somewhere in the behind. But look at that, an Artago showing broadside. That's nice. And, well, that was really unfortunate because they didn't do much. Now the Artago does have torpedoes, so you gotta be aware of incoming torpedoes. He's using his hydroacoustic surge here, and yeah. You can already see some torpedoes, here are some more. And there is a Fubuki as well. Now the Gneisenau has torpedoes, obviously the Fubuki does, the Artago does. It's not looking too good. But the Artago is still showing broadside, another salvo, it's looking good, and it does nothing. And he can't dodge all torpedoes here. Oh, he's still going for the Atago. I mean, the Atago is showing broadside. Usually this should be able to delete this Atago with one salvo, but he's getting a bit unlucky here, which is kinda sad. Now it looks like the one battleship here isn't even coming this way. This battleship is also more in a retreating course. And Final Spark is reversing back here, but there isn't really much support coming. One cruiser here is going for point D, and those two ships, again, those island prevents them from supporting the battle. They might be able to sneak up on point Bravo, but isn't helping Final Spark much. Now he is going for the Bubuki. He has enough of the Atago. And again, unfortunately, isn't doing all that much. The secondaries are still pounding the Atago. And yeah, the Gneiser now is coming in for another torpedo launch. Gets some hits on the Fubuki, but maybe the secondaries can do something. Those torpedoes will probably be his demise. And yeah, there he is. So, he had a pretty good run. He managed to get 6 kills. Now let's see if his team can win this. Well, we still have the battleship here. Now very far in the south for unfortunately no reason. This battleship is still hugging his island. And well, this cruiser is taking point Delta. So there is that. Having 2 capture point will be nice. They do have an advantage in ships, so it's not looking that bad actually. And here we are, a little further into the game. The Pensacola just found the enemy Lexington. And yeah, there is nothing the enemy Lexington can do. I'm not sure. He's out of planes as well, but he is burning, so he couldn't even launch them if he had them. And I'm not sure why the Pensacola is stopping here. You should really push into the cap circle. Obviously you can't cap while there is an enemy inside, but you can contest it so the enemy doesn't get a point, and you can start capping immediately once the enemy is dead. Not that it should matter all that much. The friendly team has caught up on points. They control 2 capture zones, they will soon control 4, and with the Lexington gone there are only 2 enemies remaining. If we look here, the Gneiser now is going down pretty shortly, and that will leave them with only a destroyer, and the destroyer won't have any chance. And down goes the Lexington. Now the Pensacola moves inside here to cap, and yeah, only the destroyer is left. And there is the destroyer running for his life, but he goes down. Let's take a look at the results. Final Spark managed to get 2641 base experience, 6 kills and 20 plane kills. He played certainly very well in this battle. He supported the push towards C in the beginning, and well, he went in there when it was needed. He had some very cool brawls, and overall I think it was truly a pleasure to watch. Now Final Spark managed to earn himself Confederate 2 times close quarter expert, first blood Kraken and high caliber. He did 207,000 points of damage and scored 243 secondary hits. It's always a pleasure to see those German secondaries go. So I really hope you enjoyed watching that. I certainly did. And I'll see you guys next time.